Yo, what is going on, you search and destroy savages? It's your boy Tupac, back again today, and in today's gameplay, we are rocking the Sheiva with the Swindler camo. Now, this is one of my favorite camos in the game. I got Dark Matter, but I just have to put the Swindler on, just because it looks so awesome. It's not even an epic camo, and it's one of my favorite camos in the game. Anyway, what we're rocking on this setup today is an attachment greedy class, and not necessarily my recommended class for the Sheiva. What I got on is high caliber, long barrel, and quick draw. So we had to run the primary gunfighter, and to miss out on a few perks, and a secondary, which I'd highly recommend running a secondary with the Sheiva, because it's pretty god tier at range, but as soon as you get up close, despite how good your accuracy might be, you sometimes get punished severely at close range situations. Now, in today's video, what I wanted to do was go over the complete COD skills and give you guys information that will improve your game, improve your performance, and improve your KD ratio. Now, I have made an older video which I outlined some of the stuff which I won't go through in this video, so I'd highly suggest you guys go check it out. It's called the SnD Mothership, where I went over controller settings and other things that will help you out in Call of Duty. Now, I know most of you guys wouldn't have seen that simply because I did that video close to when I started out on YouTube. So I'd suggest going back and checking that out, but I'm going to go over more stuff to improve your game in this video. So what I'm going to talk about is mainly based around improving your game in Search and Destroy, but some of the stuff I talk about will definitely help you out in all game modes in Call of Duty. Now, one of the first things I wanted to mention and talk about was Gunskill, one of the most important factors in Call of Duty. Gunskill being your general accuracy in game. Now, one of the most important parts about having good accuracy and better accuracy than your opponent, which is a big determining factor whether you're going to come out on top in most of your gunfights, is just finding the right sensitivity. Now, I'm going to highly recommend the best sensitivity in Call of Duty, if you're using regular guns like me, is a lower sensitivity. Now, I play on the default sensitivity 4, and most of your professional players, i.e. 99% of them, will also play on a lower sensitivity. The reason that the lower sensitivities are better for using regular guns is a less chance of your aim being thrown off. You've got more control over your accuracy on a lower sensitivity than you were playing on something crazily insane. You just have a better chance of outgunning your opponents and not going off target if you got more control over your aim. Now, there are two really important aspects to Gunskill. The first one being centering skill, which what centering is, it's just your general hip fire accuracy. Now, there's two different sensitivities in COD. There's one when you're aimed down sights, and there's one from the hip. So having your hip fire accuracy on point gives you the ability to snap directly onto your targets at a faster speed and have them directly centered if you have good gun skills. So all you have to do is press the left trigger to be aimed down sights and be directly on them. So being able to snap onto targets from hip to aim down sights is a really good skill to have, and something that is called centering. Now, a good way to get your centering gun skill up is literally by just hip firing only against bots and making sure the exact center of your screen, the middle of your hip fire, is where you're trying to aim at your enemies from your hip. That way, if you were to press the left trigger, you'd be directly on target. Now, another really important aspect of Gunskill is being able to make minute changes to your aim, like tiny adjustments, which for the most part is going to come into handy at your longer ranges, but also if they're a smaller target like on a head glitch, it's good to have the ability to make tiny changes and do them precisely. Now, it's a whole lot easier to do on a lower sensitivity, which is why I recommended it earlier. Now, there's a whole lot of different ways of improving your gun skill, but overall, the most important is just motor memory. Practice makes perfect. Your brain will just recognize to make them movements, and you won't even need to think about doing them. So, over time, obviously, your accuracy will get better. There are ways you can turn your aim assist off, play against bots, and learn to aim without aim assist on, which actually will help you improve your accuracy, but just remember to always turn your aim assist back on afterwards, because you don't want to be playing public match without aim assist on. Now, another really important skill to have in Call of Duty is map awareness, something that even some of your better players can improve on. Now, map awareness isn't just about knowing where the enemies are, where the red dots are. It's also about knowing where your teammates are. Knowing where your teammates are can help you out in a few ways. One being you can know where your teammates are looking, so where they've got covered. If you know your teammate's looking one way and you know some other part of the map is exposed and no one's watching it, you can pick up that lane of the map to ensure you guys don't get flanked and that you've got all bases covered. Now, also where your teammates are dying is important information because you can judge where the enemies are pushing. Like if they were to start dying at A, I could judge the enemies were pushing A, and it would either A, go through their spawn and flank them, or B, wrap around safely through my spawn and try to fend them off on the A bomb. Now, as you guys can see, the minimap is rectangle. For example, if I was to have a UAV up right now, I could angle myself to the right and see more of my minimap. I don't particularly like its design, but if you want to get full use out of the minimap, just remember to always turn your screen to see the edges of your minimap and you get a better view of where your enemies are. Now, you can also use the little trick to press the start button if the enemies were all the way at the other end of the map and you couldn't see where they were on your minimap. You press the start button and it brings up the whole map. So it'll show you where them enemies are that are the red dots that you're not sure of where they are. Now, also, if you got good map awareness, you got that on lockdown, you can decide of area control. You can use vantage spots around the map that give you better opportunity of killing your enemies. Like right now, I'm not sure where they are, so I'm using this bunker area as sort of a stronghold. I got a nice head glitch out the front there, which gives me an advantage over the enemy, so I'm sort of holding down this area instead of pushing out a bomb. Now, right there, I've seen someone die at A, so I'm running over to A to try find the enemy. That's using map awareness. I could tell that he died at A. I'm being careful now, making sure he's not on any head glitches. Just playing it smart. Call of Duty's all about smarts and all about taking the advantage. You can have the most gun skill in the world, the best accuracy in the world, the best reaction time in the world, but if you're not a smart player, you might not do as well as a smart player. Like, taking the advantage in gunfights, I know a lot of people cry about, oh, he's head glitching, but you're just playing smarter than the person. You outplayed them. If you're on that head glitch and they didn't have cover, you had the advantage and you outsmarted them. They can cry and complain that you're on a head glitch, but taking the advantage and outsmarting your opponent is always something to be handy and definitely something that's very useful in search and destroy. Like, if you ever have a rush route that you like doing, always think about ways you can improve that rush route, whether there's certain cover you can take to clear out areas, whether there's tacticals and lethals you can use to gain the advantage. Call of Duty, you should be playing to improve your game. Don't just keep doing the same rush route the same way every time. Maybe even find a new rush route or new tactics you can use in game. Because the last thing you want to do in Search and Destroy is become predictable. Something I can sort of blame myself for here and there. Like, I do have my favorite rush routes, especially when like I'm making YouTube videos showing you guys my gameplay. Some of you guys know what I like to do, so sometimes I have to mix it up and be unpredictable. It's really important to never become predictable in Search and Destroy because the enemies will always end up countering you. Now, as you guys can see, 21 kills with 1 death, so not a bad gameplay at all. And this is the very next game, a little bonus clip, a quick little ace I got. Now, this video was a bit of information overload, and I still haven't gone through everything I've wanted to. So I'm going to make it a 2-part series. And also what I want to do is I'll leave the time down in the description of the different stuff I've talked about, so it's easy to go back and find what you want to hear. Now, I hope you guys did enjoy. Just remember to smack that like button if you did.